You've worked hard to build a life, create memories, and for many Canadians, hold on to a family cottage that's more than just real estate. It's your legacy. It's where the kids grew up, where the grandkids visit, and where stories are passed down through generations. But now you're facing a tough decision. How do you pass down the cottage to one child without shortchanging the other? Do you force them all to share it? Do you leave it to just one child and hope there are no hard feelings? Or do you risk the worst case scenario where your kids end up having to sell the cottage just to settle the estate? The good news is you don't have to choose between keeping the cottage and keeping things fair. In this video, I'm going to show you how Canadians are using life insurance as a planning tool, not just for tax purposes, but to equalize inheritance without selling the family cottage. We'll look at real example, common mistakes, and how this strategy can help protect your legacy and your family relationship. Hi. If you're new here, my name is Daniel Young, Portfolio Manager and Senior Wealth Advisor, Senior Private Wealth Counsel, IA Private Wealth. If you find this helpful, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more Canadian tax and retirement strategy. So part 1, the unequal asset dilemma. Why this happens so often? Many Canadians pass down a mix of assets when they die, some liquid like investments, some not like real estate. But often, the most emotionally valuable asset, and sometimes the most financially valuable, is the family cottage. Here's the problem. Cottages are indivisible. You can't split them 3 ways like cash. One child might want to keep it, but the others don't. Or maybe you want one specific child to inherit the cottage, but still have something equal to the others. Without a plan, this can lead to resentment, legal dispute, or worse, the forced sale of a property that's been in your family for generations. That's where life insurance can come in as a powerful equalizer. Part 2, how life insurance helps you equalize an estate. Let's say your cottage is worth $900,000. You have 3 children, and only one of them truly wants the cottage. The other 2 live in other provinces and would rather have cash. If you leave the cottage to just one child and give the other 2 nothing, it creates an inheritance imbalance and possibly hurt feelings. But if you purchase a life insurance for $600,000 with the 2 non-cottage children named as beneficiaries, here's what would happen. Child A received the cottage with $900,000. Children B and C each received $300,000 tax-free from the life insurance policy. Your total estate stays balanced without needing to sell the cottage or take on debt. The life insurance provides liquidity without draining investment accounts or relying on selling assets after your death. And because life insurance proceeds are paid out tax-free and outside the will, there's less room for delay or dispute. Part 3, real-life example, avoiding the forced sale trap. Here's a real-world type scenario I've seen. Both Bob and Linda have 3 kids. Their primary residence is in Toronto, but they also own a Muskoka cottage worth $1.2 million. Their daughter Sarah spent every summer at the cottage, helped maintain it, and wants to keep it in the family. The other 2 kids, Jason and Emma, live out west and have no interest in using or maintaining the property. But Bob and Linda don't have enough investments to give Jason and Emma an equal share if the cottage goes to Sarah. If they leave everything equally, the kids may be forced to sell the cottage to split the proceeds, even though Sarah wants to keep it. Solution: Bob and Linda takes out a joint last-to-die life insurance policy for $800,000. They leave the cottage to Sarah in the will and make Jason and Emma the beneficiaries of the insurance policy. Everyone gets a fair share and the cottage stays in the family. No forced sale, no fights, no resentment. Part 4, what kind of life insurance works for this strategy? For estate equalization, most Canadians use permanent life insurance, either whole life or universal life. Why? Because unlike term insurance, which expires at a certain age, permanent insurance covers you for life, no expiry date, pays out tax-free to your named beneficiaries, can be structured to pay quickly with minimal estate delay. Costs less overall if set up early in life. You can also use a joint last-to-die policy if you're planning as a couple, which pays out only after the second spouse passes away when the estate actually being divided. The approach is often more affordable and better aligned with the timing of estate needs. Part 5, what if you don't want to leave the cottage to just one child? You might be thinking, well, what if all my kids want the cottage? That's a tougher situation, and life insurance can still help. For example, you could leave the cottage to all 3 jointly, set up a trust or agreement for shared usage and expenses, use life insurance proceeds to fund a buyout in case 1 or 2 of the kids later decided they no longer want their share. In these cases, life insurance acts as a buffer, giving your children the financial flexibility to make decisions without rushing to sell the property. The key to communicate your intention clearly and document the plan properly, ideally with the help of your financial advisor. advisor, and estate lawyer. Part 6. Other tax and probate benefits of using life insurance. We talked about using life insurance to equalize inheritance, but that's just one piece of the puzzle. Life insurance can also help solve some of the biggest tax and estate problems Canadian faces when passing down real estate, investments, or business. Let's walk through a few of those additional benefits because they often go overlooked until it's too late. So benefit number 1, life insurance proceeds are tax-free. Unlike RRSP or capital gains on real estate, the death benefit from a life insurance policy is paid out tax-free to your named beneficiaries. So if you leave $400,000 from your non-registered portfolio to one child and $400,000 in life insurance proceeds to another, those might look equal, but they're not. The investment may trigger tax while the life insurance doesn't. That's why insurance is such a powerful tool when trying to create equal after-tax outcome, not just equal number on paper. Benefit number 2, bypass probate and delay. In provinces like Ontario, assets that pass through your will are subject to probate, which is essentially a provincial estate tax, around 1.5% of the value of those assets. So if your estate includes $1 million cottage and $1 million in non-registered investment, the probate fee alone could be in the range of $30,000 or more. But life insurance with named beneficiary bypasses probate entirely. That means no probate tax, no delay in distribution, no court involvement, and less chance of estate dispute or creditor claims. The funds can be paid out quickly, often within a few weeks, which is incredibly helpful if your estate needs immediate liquidity. Benefit number 3, pay capital gains tax on the cottage without selling other assets. Here's a big one that catches many Canadians off guard. When you pass away, your cottage is considered deemed disposed at fair market value, unless it qualifies fully as your principal resident. If it is a secondary property, the CRA will expect your estate to pay capital gain tax on the growth in value from when you acquire it to the date of death. So let's say you bought the cottage for $200,000. It is now worth $1 million. That's an $800,000 capital gains. 50% is taxable, equal $400,000 added to your final tax return. At a marginal rate of 40 to 50%, the tax bill could be in the range of $160,000 to $200,000. Where is that money going to come from? Your executor may have to sell investment, take out loans, or, in the worst case scenario, sell the cottage itself to cover the tax. But with life insurance in place, your estate receives tax-free cash at just the right moment, allowing your executors to pay the capital gains tax without touching other assets. That's what makes life insurance such a strategic tool, not just a safety net, but a precision instrument for estate liquidity. Benefit number 4, help business owner and cottage owner keep assets intact. This strategy isn't just for cottages. It works the same way for family businesses, rental properties, farmland, private company shares. Anything that's valuable had to divide and subject to tax at death can potentially benefit from having life insurance in place to protect the rest of the estate. By using life insurance, you're making sure those legacy assets don't have to be liquidated under pressure, and that your beneficiaries aren't stuck with a tough decision between paying the tax or selling the things you worked your whole life to build. Final thought on part 6, it's not just about tax, it's about control. The real value of life insurance is estate planning isn't just tax savings, it's in control. It gives you a way to distribute your estate on your terms, protect assets that are hard to divide, avoid unnecessary delay, fees, or conflict, and give your loved ones the financial flexibility to focus on what matters, not just the numbers. Using properly, life insurance is one of the most underappreciated estate planning tools in Canada, especially when real estate is involved. Closing thought. Planning ahead equals peace of mind. If you have built a life around family cottage and you want to keep it in the family, don't leave the outcome to chance. Life insurance gives you the flexibility and certainty to pass on your legacy fairly without putting your children in a difficult position. It's not just about dollars and cents, it's about family harmony, clarity, and peace of mind. If you'd like help designing a strategy like this, click the link in the description to book a time with me or someone on my team. We can help you figure out the right coverage, structure a estate plan clearly, and protect your family cottage without sacrificing fairness or financial flexibility for your other children.